Listen, stop everything right now and check your pocket. Because what if I told you the coins you're casually spending every single day could secretly be a hidden treasure, a silent fortune worth serious money? Welcome back to Lucky Penny Finds, where dirty old coins turn into life-changing wealth. And today, we're exposing the top 6 most valuable ultra-rare Lincoln Wheat Pennies that nobody talks about. Do not spend these coins. I mean it. These coins equal hidden wealth, and collectors are fighting over them behind closed doors. Each coin in this video gets rarer, more shocking, and more dangerous to ignore, so stay with me till the very end. Because what you're about to see could change everything. First, coin number 1. Now imagine this, a worn-out, dusty penny, sitting unnoticed in a jar or lost between couch cushions, looking completely ordinary, but hiding something so powerful, so rare, that collectors go silent when it appears. That's exactly what we're dealing with right now. The 1928 wheat penny with the D mint mark. And trust me, this is not just another old coin. This is a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. 1928. This wasn't just another year. This was a time when America was standing right on the edge of a massive shift. The economy looked strong on the surface, but cracks were already forming, pressure was building, and inside the US, mint coins were being produced under conditions that most people never even think about. Denver, the D-Mint, was pushing out coins to keep up with circulation demands. But here's where it gets interesting. Not every coin came out perfect, and not every coin survived. That's why this specific penny, the 1928 with D in very good condition, has become something collectors whisper about. Because survival? That's the real story here. Most of these coins were used hard, passed through thousands of hands, worn down, damaged, cleaned, destroyed, or simply lost forever. What's left today is a tiny fraction, and that's where the hidden treasure begins. Hold one of these in your hand, and you'll feel it. That solid, old-world copper presence, around 3.11 grams, a small, humble size. But don't let that fool you. The thickness, the slightly rough edges from years of circulation, the soft wheat ears on the back, all of it tells a story. A story of survival. A story of time. A story of quiet wealth hiding in something people ignore every day. Look closer, and this is where things start to get serious. The front, Abraham Lincoln's face, worn but still staring forward. Strong, calm, like it knows something you don't. Flip it over. Those wheat stalks, they're not just design, they're history frozen in metal. And that tiny D mint mark, right there. Small, easy to miss. But this detail changes everything. Because collectors, they don't just look, they hunt. They obsess over tiny differences, surface texture, original toning, how the light hits the copper, whether it has that untouched, natural aging, or if someone made the biggest mistake of all, cleaning it. Listen carefully. Never clean this coin. Never. The moment you try to improve it, you destroy the very thing that makes it valuable. That natural, slightly darkened, uneven toning, that's not dirt. That's history. That's proof. That's what collectors are fighting for. And yes, fighting is the right word. Because when a real 1928 with D wheat penny in honest original condition shows up at auction, something strange happens. The room gets quiet. Bidders stop talking. Then, suddenly, aggressive offers start flying. Not loud, not flashy, just serious, calculated moves, because everyone in that room knows this is not just a coin, this is hidden wealth. Right now, Today's market value for one of these can reach around $270,000. But here's the part nobody tells you. Coins like this don't just sit on the market. They disappear. Fast. Collectors hold them, lock them away, pass them down, because supply is shrinking. And demand? It's only getting stronger. So if you ever come across a 1,928 wheat penny with that small D mint mark, worn but real, raw and untouched, listen to me clearly. Do not spend this coin. You could be holding a life-changing opportunity, a quiet fortune, hiding in something most people wouldn't even pick up off the ground. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Look at the surface. Feel the weight. And if there's even a chance it's real, don't guess. Get it professionally graded. Because that one decision could be the difference between a worthless penny and a six-figure hidden treasure. And here's the scary part. People are still spending these every single day, without knowing, without checking, losing serious money just like that. Stay with me, because what comes next is even bigger, even rarer, and way more dangerous to ignore. The next coin on this list has a detail so small, most people miss it completely. But when collectors see it, everything changes. Next coin, number 2. What if I told you the next coin is even more dangerous to ignore? Because it looks so normal, so clean, so harmless that people spend it without even thinking twice. This is where things get serious. The 1,937 wheat penny with no mint mark, in extra fine condition. And this one is a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. 1,937. Now this year carries weight. America was still climbing out of the Great Depression. Money was tight. People were holding on to every cent. And yet, coins like this were being pushed hard into circulation. Philadelphia, the mint with no mint mark, was working non-stop, producing millions of pennies to keep the economy moving. But here's the twist. High production doesn't mean high survival. In fact, it often means the opposite. Because these coins didn't sit in collections. They lived hard lives. Passed from hand to hand, used in daily survival, dropped, scratched, worn down, and over time, most of them lost their identity completely. That's why finding a 1,937 wheat penny today in extra fine condition, with sharp detail, original surfaces, and no damage, feels almost unreal. This is not common. This is not normal. This is hidden treasure. Pick it up, and you'll notice something instantly. That classic copper tone, rich, deep, alive, around 3.11 grams, compact, perfectly balanced, about 19 millimeters wide, thin but strong, with that unmistakable old coin presence. It doesn't feel like modern change. It feels like history, like something that wasn't meant to survive, but somehow did. Now look closer, and don't rush this part, because this detail changes everything. On the front, Lincoln's profile is still sharp. The lines in his coat, the curve of his jaw, even the hair detail is visible. That's what extra fine really means here. Not perfect, but incredibly preserved for its age. Flip it over, and those wheat stalks, they stand tall, bold, with clear lines that most coins from this era have already lost. And here's where people make the biggest mistake. They see a coin like this, slightly darkened, maybe uneven in color, and they think it needs cleaning. No, that imperfect look, that's exactly what makes it valuable. That natural toning, that soft aging, it's proof this coin hasn't been tampered with. The second you clean it, you don't just reduce value, you destroy the silent fortune inside it. Now let's talk about that missing mint mark. No D, no S, just blank under the date. Most people ignore it. But collectors, they know exactly what that means. Philadelphia origin. And in this condition, that combination becomes something rare, something hunted. Because while millions were made, almost none survived like this. And when one does appear, the reaction is intense. Not loud, not dramatic, but focused. Collectors lean in, eyes locked. Bidding starts quietly, then climbs fast. There's no hesitation, because they know what they're looking at. A coin that escaped damage, escaped cleaning, escaped time itself. Right now, today's market value for this exact coin can reach up to $232,000. And that number isn't just a price, it's a warning. Because coins like this are disappearing, locked away in private collections, held tightly, rarely sold. Demand keeps rising, supply keeps shrinking, and the few that remain in circulation, they're being spent, lost, gone forever. So listen carefully. If you ever find a 1,937 wheat penny with no mint mark, and it looks unusually sharp, unusually clean, but naturally aged, stop. Do not spend this coin. This is not pocket change. This is hidden wealth. A quiet, life-changing opportunity sitting in your hand. Check every detail, the date, the absence of a mint mark, the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the strength of the wheat lines, the surface texture. And whatever you do, don't try to fix it. Don't polish it. Don't clean it. Get it professionally graded, because that one move could unlock serious money. This is not fiction. People are losing coins like this every single day without even knowing it. Silent fortunes, slipping through fingers, turning into nothing. And if you think this is shocking, you're not ready for what's coming next. The next coin is rarer, more mysterious, and has a tiny detail that turns an ordinary penny into something collectors will chase like crazy. Stay with me because the next one changes everything. Next coin number 3. Now listen very carefully, because this next coin doesn't scream for attention. It whispers, and that's exactly why people miss it. A soft, light brown penny. Nothing flashy, nothing shiny, just sitting there like any other old coin. And that's the danger. This is the 1,924 wheat penny with no mint mark, in very fine condition. And this one is a hidden treasure people are accidentally losing every single day. 1,924. This was not an easy time. America was still adjusting after World War I. Industries were shifting. Money was moving differently. And the demand for everyday coins was rising fast. The Philadelphia Mint, the one with no mint mark, was working hard to push out pennies into circulation. But here's the part nobody talks about. When coins are made in huge numbers during pressure years, quality control slips, handling gets rough, and survival becomes the real rarity. Because these coins weren't saved, they were used. Hard, passed through pockets, markets, hands of workers, families, every single day. And over time, they faded, wore down, got damaged, cleaned, or simply disappeared. That's why finding a 1,924 wheat penny today, with that light brown natural tone, and still holding very fine detail, is something collectors don't ignore. This is not just another old coin. This is quiet wealth, hiding in plain sight. Pick it up and feel it. That classic copper weight, around 3.11 grams. Small, compact, about 19 millimeters across, thin but solid, with that unmistakable old metal presence. It feels different. Not like modern coins. There's a depth to it, a kind of silent history sitting right in your palm. Now look closer, and don't rush, because this detail changes everything. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's face is still strong. You can see the outline of his cheek, the shape of his coat, the structure is there. Not perfect, but real. That's what very fine condition means here, honest wear, but powerful details still alive. Flip it over, and those wheat stalks, they're still standing, lines visible, not flattened, not erased by time. That's rare. Most coins from this era, those details are gone. Smoothed out. Lost forever. But this one survived, and survival like this creates value. And then there's that color, that light brown shade. This is where people make a huge mistake. They think darker or uneven tones mean dirt, damage, something to fix. No, that light brown, natural aging, that's exactly what collectors want. That's original toning. That's proof this coin hasn't been cleaned, polished, or destroyed. Let me say this clearly, never clean this coin. Never. The second you try to make it look better, you erase the very thing that makes it worth serious money. That natural surface, even if it looks dull to you, is everything to a collector. Now here's the quiet detail most people ignore. There is no mint mark. No D, no S, just blank. That means Philadelphia. And while that might sound common, in this condition, with this level of preservation, it becomes something else entirely. Something rare. Something hunted. Because collectors, they don't just collect coins. They chase survival stories. And when a 1924 with no mint mark penny shows up with original light brown tone, very fine detail, untouched surfaces, the reaction is immediate. Eyes lock in. Conversations stop. Bidding begins, slow at first, then sharp, aggressive, controlled, because everyone knows this is not just a coin. This is hidden wealth. Right now, today's market value for this coin can reach around $285,000. But don't just hear the number, understand what it means. This is a silent fortune, a life-changing opportunity, something people are literally throwing away without realizing it. And here's the truth. Coins like this are disappearing. Fast. Collectors are holding them, locking them away, refusing to sell. Supply is shrinking, demand is rising, and the few that are still out there, they're being spent like normal pennies, lost forever. So if you ever see a 1924 wheat penny, no mint mark, with that soft, light brown color and strong visible details, stop immediately. Do not spend this coin. This could be the moment that changes everything for you. Check the date carefully. Look under it. No mint mark. Study the surface. Is it natural? Untouched? Feel the coin. Does it carry that old copper presence? And whatever you do, don't rush to sell. Don't clean it. Don't guess. Get it professionally graded. Because one wrong move, and that hidden treasure turns into nothing. This is not fiction. People are losing coins like this every single day, without even noticing. Silent fortunes, slipping away, gone forever. And if you think this is rare, what's coming next is even more shocking. The next coin has a feature so subtle, so easy to miss, that most people overlook it completely. But when collectors see it, they don't hesitate. Stay with me, because the next one, is on another level entirely. Next coin, number 4. All right, now this is where things take a serious turn, because the next coin looks even more ordinary, more worn, more forgettable, and that's exactly why it's one of the most dangerous coins to ignore. A rough-looking, slightly faded penny, something most people wouldn't even pick up, but hiding a silent fortune inside. This is the 1949 wheat penny with the D mint mark, in almost fine condition, and this coin is a hidden treasure people are accidentally spending every single day. 1949. Think about that moment in time. The world was just coming out of World War II. Economies were rebuilding. Metal demand had been intense. And the U.S. Mint was under pressure to keep coins flowing into everyday life. Denver, marked by that tiny D, was pushing out coins fast. And when speed meets demand, something always changes. These coins weren't made to sit safely in collections. They were made to move, to circulate, to survive rough hands, busy streets, and constant use. And that's exactly what happened. These pennies were used heavily, tossed into pockets, dropped on counters, rubbed against other coins, year after year. That's why finding a 1949 with D today, even in almost fine condition, is not as simple as it sounds. Because survival isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about a coin that lived through time and still holds its identity. Pick it up and you'll feel that difference instantly. That old copper weight, about 3.11 grams, small but solid, around 19 millimeters wide, thin, slightly worn edges, but still carrying that unmistakable presence. This isn't just metal, this is history you can touch. Now look at it closely. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. The front, Lincoln's face, it's worn, yes. The details are softer, but still there. You can see the outline, the shape, the survival. Flip it over, and the wheat stalks. They're not sharp, like higher-grade coins, but they're visible. They exist, and that's what matters. Because coins like this were never meant to stay this intact. And here comes the mistake that destroys fortunes. People see a worn coin like this, and they think it's worthless, or worse, they try to clean it. Listen carefully, never clean this coin. That rough surface, that uneven tone, that aged copper look, that is exactly what proves it's real, untouched, original. The moment you try to fix it, you erase its story, and its value drops hard. Now focus on the smallest detail, because this detail changes everything. That tiny D mint mark, right under the date. So small, so easy to miss, but that's the signature. That's what connects this coin to Denver, to its origin, to its history. And when that mark appears on a 1949 penny that survived this long, even in almost fine condition, collectors pay attention. Because here's what most people don't understand. Rarity isn't always about perfect coins. Sometimes it's about the ones that made it through the hardest conditions and still exist today. That's what drives collectors. That's what creates demand. That's what turns an ordinary-looking coin into hidden wealth. And when one of these shows up in the market, the reaction is intense, but controlled. No shouting, no chaos, just focused, serious bidders who know exactly what they're looking at. Bids move quietly, then climb, faster and faster, because nobody wants to miss it. This is not just a coin, this is a silent fortune. Right now, today's market value for this coin can reach up to $350,000. And that number should stop you in your tracks. Because coins like this are not sitting in plain view anymore. They're being pulled out of circulation, locked away, held tightly by collectors who understand what's happening. Supply is shrinking, demand is rising, and the few that remain out there, they're being spent, lost, gone. So if you ever come across a 1,949 wheat penny, check it immediately. Look for that D mint mark. Study the surface. Don't judge it by shine. Judge it by originality. Feel the weight, the presence, the history in your hand. And listen carefully. Do not spend this coin. This could be the moment you realize you've been holding serious money without even knowing it. And whatever you do, don't rush. Don't clean it. Don't guess. Get it professionally graded. Because one wrong move, and that hidden treasure disappears forever. This is not fiction. People are losing coins like this every day, throwing away quiet wealth without a second thought. And if you think this is shocking, the next coin will hit even harder. Because the next one has a detail so rare, so unexpected, that collectors don't just want it, they chase it. Stay with me, because what's coming next is on a completely different level. Next coin number 5. Now hold on, because this next coin is the one people ignore the most. The one that slips through fingers every single day, because it looks too modern, too common, too normal to ever be worth anything. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous. This is the 1,958 wheat penny with no mint mark, in very good condition, and this coin is a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. 1,958. This was the end of an era, the final chapter of the wheat penny design before everything changed forever. America was shifting, industries growing, and the US, mint, was preparing to move on from the wheat reverse that had been around for decades. Philadelphia, with no mint mark, was producing these coins in huge numbers to meet demand. But something strange happens at the end of an era. Coins get overlooked. Nobody thinks to save them. Everyone assumes there will always be more. And that assumption is where people lose serious money. Because these 1,958 pennies didn't get protected, they got used. Heavily, thrown into circulation, passed around without a second thought, spent, scratched, worn down, cleaned, destroyed, or simply forgotten. And today, finding one in very good condition, with original surfaces, untouched character, is far more powerful than people realize. This is not just a coin. This is a hidden treasure from the final moments of a legendary design. Pick it up, and you'll feel that familiar copper weight, about 3.11 grams. Small, round, roughly 19 millimeters across, thin, but carrying that unmistakable old coin presence. It doesn't feel special at first, and that's the trap. Because the real value isn't in how it looks at a glance, it's in what it represents, and how it survived. Look at the front, Lincoln's face. Worn, but clear. You can still see the structure, the outline, the history pressed into the metal. Flip it over, and those wheat stalks, this is one of the last times they ever appeared on a US coin. That alone changes everything. This is the end of the wheat penny era, and coins from the end, when preserved correctly, become targets for serious collectors. Now pay attention to the detail most people miss. There is no mint mark. No D, no S, just blank. That means Philadelphia. And while millions were made, very few survived in honest original condition. Especially coins that weren't cleaned, polished, or damaged by people trying to improve them. Let me be clear, never clean this coin. That slightly dull, brownish tone, those uneven surfaces, that is exactly what collectors want to see. That's original toning. That's proof this coin hasn't been tampered with. The moment you try to shine it up, you destroy its authenticity, and its value drops instantly. And here's where things get intense. When a real 1958 with no mint mark wheat penny shows up, with original surfaces, even in very good condition, collectors notice. Quietly, carefully. Bidding doesn't explode loudly. It builds, steady, aggressive, calculated. Because they know this is the last of its kind. The final whisper of a design that disappeared right after. Right now, today's market value for this coin can reach around $217,000, and that number should make you stop and think. Because coins like this are not being made anymore, and the ones that survived, they're being taken out of circulation, locked away, held tightly. Supply keeps shrinking, demand keeps rising, and the few that are still out there, people are spending them like loose change. So listen carefully. If you ever come across a 1958 wheat penny, no mint mark, worn but real, stop immediately. Do not spend this coin. This could be hidden wealth sitting right in your hand, a quiet, life-changing opportunity that most people will never recognize. Check the date. Look under it, no mint mark. Study the surface. Is it natural? Untouched? Feel the coin. Does it carry that old copper presence? And whatever you do, don't rush, don't clean, don't guess. Get it professionally graded, because one wrong decision, and that silent fortune disappears forever. This is not fiction. People are losing coins like this every single day, without even knowing it. Hidden treasure, slipping away, gone. And if you think this was the final shock, you're not ready for what's next. The last coin on this list is the most rare, the most valuable, and the most dangerous to ignore. One tiny detail that turns an ordinary penny into something collectors will fight for like never before. Stay with me, because the final coin changes everything. Next coin, number 6. And now, this is it. The coin nobody is ready for. The one that looks the most ordinary, yet carries the biggest shock. A dark, almost black, worn penny, something most people would reject instantly, maybe even throw away. And that right there is the biggest mistake of all. This is the 1958 wheat penny with the D mint mark in fine condition, with that deep, black, almost mysterious surface. And this is not just a coin. This is a hidden treasure worth serious money. 1958 again. But now we're at the absolute edge of history. The final year of the wheat penny. The last breath before the design vanished forever. Denver, marked by that tiny D, was striking these coins during a time of transition, pressure, and change. The mint wasn't thinking about collectors. They were thinking about moving forward. And when a design ends, something strange happens. People stop paying attention to what's right in front of them. That's why coins like this slipped through unnoticed. Used, ignored, worn down. And in some cases, something even more unusual happened. They developed that dark, blackened surface, a natural reaction over time, a deep toning that most people mistake for damage. But collectors, they see something completely different. They see uniqueness. They see originality. They see a coin that hasn't been messed with, a coin that carries its full story. Pick it up, and you'll feel that same classic weight, about 3.11 grams, small, solid, around 19 millimeters wide, thin, but with a presence that feels heavier than it should. That dark surface gives it a completely different personality, almost like it's hiding something, like it knows its value, even if you don't. Now look closely, and don't blink, because this detail changes everything. On the front, Lincoln's face is still there, softened by time, but strong. The shadows from that black toning create contrast, making the features stand out in a way bright coins never could. Flip it over, and the wheat stalks, they rise through that dark surface, subtle but real. This is not damage, this is survival with character. And then, there it is. That tiny D-mint mark. Small, quiet, easy to miss. But this is the signature. This is what ties it to Denver, to its origin, to a specific moment in time when the wheat penny era was ending. And when that mark appears on a 1958 coin with this kind of rare black toning, everything changes. Because here's the truth, coins like this don't show up often. Not with this look. Not with this authenticity. Most were cleaned, brightened, ruined by people who didn't understand what they had. That's why this one stands out. That deep, blackened surface, that untouched finish, it's rare. It's desirable. It's exactly what serious collectors are hunting. And let me say this clearly, never clean this coin. Not ever. That dark tone, that black spat look, that's not something to fix. That's the entire value. The second you try to remove it, you erase the uniqueness, and the price collapses. Original toning is everything. Now imagine this coin appearing at auction. Not flashy, not shiny, just sitting there dark, quiet, almost overlooked. But then the right eyes see it. Collectors lean forward. Silence fills the room. And then bidding starts. Slow, controlled, but aggressive. Because they know this is not just another 1958 penny. This is something different. Something rare. Something they may never see again. Right now, today's market value for this coin can reach up to $410,000. And that number isn't just shocking, it's a warning. Because coins like this are disappearing fast. Locked away in collections. Held tightly. Never coming back into circulation. And the few that are still out there, they're being spent, ignored, lost forever. So if you ever see a 1958 wheat penny with a D mint mark, and it has that deep, dark, almost black surface, stop immediately. Do not spend this coin. This could be the biggest hidden wealth moment of your life. Check the date. Look for that D. Study the surface. Is it natural? Untouched? Feel the weight, the presence, the history. And whatever you do, don't rush, don't clean, don't guess. Get it professionally graded, because that one decision could unlock a life-changing opportunity. This is not fiction. People are losing coins like this every single day, throwing away silent fortunes without even realizing it. And now think about everything you've just seen. 6 coins, 6 hidden treasures, all hiding in plain sight. Old coins people ignore. Dirty coins people spend. But behind them, serious money, quiet wealth, life-changing opportunities. So here's your warning. Check your pockets. Check your jars. Check every old coin you have. Because these coins are still out there. And the difference between losing them and finding them is simply paying attention. If this opened your eyes, stay with Lucky Penny Finds, because there are more rare US coins out there, more hidden treasures, more silent fortunes waiting to be discovered. And trust me, The next coin we reveal might be the one you already have. If this opened your eyes, then don't stop here. Like this video. Subscribe to Lucky Penny Finds. Because more rare US coins, more hidden treasures, and more silent fortunes are coming your way. And trust me, the next coin we reveal might already be sitting in your pocket.